Welcome to Nina Reacts. We have in one of ESDRAS, and this is Nina Reacts, Coffee and Stories from the Scriptures. And this one is so interesting and wonderful, and I just want to share it with you all. So please stay tuned. It's very late at night, but I'm having some coffee. Kids are in the background, and let's just see how wonderful this story we could even implement it to nowadays, especially here in social media. Stay tuned. So let's see. It starts with saying, one of ESDRAS emphasizes the importance of loyalty to God, unity among his people, and wisdom in leadership. It shows that faithfulness and righteousness lead to restoration, while division and selfishness bring to ruin. The first book of ESDRAS is a historical narrative, actually, that chronicles the events following the Babylonian exile and the return of the Israelites to Jerusalem. It focuses on the rebuilding of the temple and the restoration of Jewish life under the leadership of figures like Zerubbabel, Ezra, and Nehemiah. However, more than a mere account of historical events in the book, the book offers deep insights into the spiritual struggles and moral challenges faced by the people of Israel during this pivotal time in the history. One of the key moments in one of ESDRAS is the assembly where the debate takes place about the importance of loyalty to God and to the community. A group of elders presented with the question of what is the most important thing in life: wealth, power, or wisdom. The debate between the leaders is an allegory for the deeper struggles that societies face when they seek to rebuild after the destruction. Each leader represents a different answer, with some suggesting that wealth is an answer, while others argue the power, and still others for wisdom. The final conclusion of these debates is that wisdom is the most important of these, a principle that echoes throughout many other biblical texts. Wisdom allows for the discernment of what is truly important, helps people navigate the complexities of life, and ensures that decisions are made with integrity and care. The story also highlights the importance of unity in the rebuilding process. The Israelites faced significant obstacles, including internal divisions outside opposition, and the complex challenge of trying to reestablish their religious and social practices. One of the key themes of one of ESDRAS is that restoration can only be achieved if the people come together. It's a mutual trust, respect, and shared purpose. The book stresses that without unity, even in the best intentions are doomed to fail. The unity of the people is closely tied to their faithfulness to God and to go hand in hand. Another important aspect of the book, it emphasizes the righteousness leadership. The characters and Zerubbabel and Ezra serve as models of what it means to lead with integrity. Zerubbabel is chosen to lead the people in rebuilding the temple, while Ezra plays a crucial role in restoring the people's relationship with God throughout the teaching of the law. Both men act selflessly, putting the needs of the people above their own desires for personal power. They demonstrate what it means to lead through humility and faithfulness to God's will. The philosophical undercurrent of one of ESDRAS asks readers to consider the role of wisdom in their own lives. In the book, wisdom is not just about knowing the facts of having intellectual knowledge, but about knowing how to live in a way that honors God and build a strong, unified community. This wisdom leads to the restoration of the people of Israel, both spiritually and physically. The book challenges us to think about the wisdom guides our decisions today. What do you prioritize in our lives? Material, wealth, power, or wisdom? How does wisdom shape our relationship, our actions, and our leaderships? In addition, in one of ESDRAS calls attention to the danger of division and the consequences of selfishness. The people of Israel are constantly reminded that their faithfulness to God is the glue that holds them together. And if they lose sight of that, they will fall into ruin. This serves as a timeless lesson about the destructive nature of division. Whether in a society, a family, or an individual life, a selfishness and greed take over. The foundation of trust and unity is broken, as what is built will eventually crumble. Another philosophical theme in one of ESDRAS is that idea that restoration requires both spiritual and physical rebuilding. The Israelites are not just rebuilding the temple, but they are also restoring their identity as God's people. This dual restoration highlights the connection between the inner spiritual life and the outer material world. The strength of a community, a nation, or an individual lies not just in the physical property, but in the integrity of righteousness of his heart. The book also challenges us to reflect on the role of leaders in society. The leaders of Israel, especially Zerubbabel and Ezra, are not depicted as figures who seek personal glory or power. Rather, they are shown as faithful servants of God, whose authority stems from their commitment to wisdom and righteousness. Leadership, in this sense, is not about domination, but about guiding others towards a common goal with humility and integrity. Finally, one of ESDRAS invites us to think about the role of faith in the face of adversity. The Israelites were returning from exile, a period of profound loss and disorientation, yet throughout faith in God and the guidance of wise leaders, they found the strength to rebuild their lives in their community. This teaches us that even in the most difficult times, faith can be a source of strength and hope for restoration. In one of ESDRAS teaches us the value of wisdom leadership in the life. It shows that wisdom is more intellectual knowledge. It is about making decisions that honor God and build strong communities. The book emphasizes the importance of unity, faithfulness, and selfless leadership in the restoration of a people. It teaches the spiritual physical restoration must go hand to hand, and that division, selfishness, and greed can destroy what has been built. The story also offers a timeless reminder that true strength lies not in the material wealth of power, but in the righteousness, humility, and faithfulness to God's will. So there's two questions to do reflections on. And one will be, what is the role of wisdom in your life? How does wisdom guide your decisions, relationship, and actions, particularly in a difficult situation? How can unity and selflessness contribute to the restoration of a community? And what can you do to foster these values in your own life? To apply this teaching of one of ESDRAS is a practical way to choose the situation in your life where division of selfishness is creating a barrier to progress, whether at work, in your family, or in your community, such as YouTube. Reflect on how you can bring unity and wisdom into that situation. This could involve listening carefully to others, making decisions that serves the common good rather than personal interest, or encouraging those around you to work together towards a shared goal. In your daily life, strive to lead with humility, making choices that build up rather than divide. The exercises can help to practice the value of wisdom, unity, and selflessness that are the central of the message of that book, or of the book. With that being said, this is such a great message, and I love reading of this. We're going to read next the 2 of ESDRAS, and that will be for the next time around, you guys. I know I'm going to start with Psalm. We're going to start from the beginning. And we're going to start book 1, so I'm going to be making a video of that. But I'm also going to be sharing these wonderful messages and these stories and the importance of them, which can help us nowadays from 2025 beyond 2026 and for the rest of our life, to teach us how important is the relationship and our actions. And with that being said, just keeping the respectful to others, not gossiping about others, not using your, how can I say, the belittle others or try to destroy the integrity, their channels, their lives, the personal, if they're not doing anything to you. It's very important to please pay attention and open your eyes to what's really is going on. You know, it's very sad to see a lot of things in social media, but we cannot control other people's actions, but we control the way we think about those that we care about, and to know the truth. With that being said, thank you for watching our reaction. I'll see you in the next video.